It's your host, Kvion Henderson, on the Wearable Conversation podcast. Today, I'm talking with a Julian alumni, Trinity Robinson, who recently graduated in December.
Yes, so I recently graduated with my double master's in business administration, focusing on healthcare administration and human resources management.
We love that. We love that.
Thank you.
And what was your first introduction into instruments?
So I want to say when I was 2 years old, I loved music. Anywhere I heard drums or guitar, anything, it piqued my interest. And I'm a person, as a musician, I play by ear. So back then I was just picking up the notes that I heard. And at 2, I first got introduced to drums when I was pulling out pots and pans and trying to make sure my little makeshift kit sounded like drums.
Was it a specific song that you liked more than the other?
No, I was 2, so I basically just liked the sounds that I heard. You know, when you think of a drum set, you got a bass, a hi-hat, kick, all of those good things. So when I took out the pots and pans, I guess I was trying to imitate that sound.
Were you self-taught or did you learn from a teacher? If so, who?
So I want to say I wasn't self-taught and I didn't learn from a teacher. Before I was born, my mom prayed and asked God to give me a gift. And then once I turned 2, he was like, all right, bet. I'm going to give you that gift. So he gave me a gift, and from then on, I just kind of been able to pick up music by ear. Anything that I can hear on the spot, I play it. So it was basically a God-given talent.
And to play the drums?
Most definitely, yeah.
Your brother, a teacher at Julian.
Yes.
Someone I have many conversations with, told me that you were, when you were younger, which you recently mentioned, you beat on drums. What made you do that?
Like I said, what made me do it, I don't really know. Like, it just automatically came to me. It's like some people automatically know how to sing, didn't go to school for it, didn't have nobody to teach them, but it was just a God-given talent, you know. And at the age of 2, in that stage of life, you start to develop the things that you want to pursue as you get older. So that was my curiosity stage, and that's when I knew I loved drums.
So, like, ever since you had that experience, you was just like, I'm never going to switch off of it?
No, ever since I had that experience, I wanted to add more to it. So right now, being 23, I've been kind of cultivating not only just drums, but percussion and dibbling and dabbling in different things because my ear picks up everything. So not just limiting myself to just drums, but going out, you know, trying to produce and things like that, just doing bigger things.
What was your experience with a drum set in high school?
Well, honestly, my experience was not too good. I mean, I came here. I didn't have a drum set at home. First of all, drum sets are super expensive. And my family provided me with the things that I needed, not the things that I wanted. I wanted a drum set, but because that was like $5K, I couldn't get it. So when I came here, my experiences, it was all right. It wasn't the top of the line equipment, but it got me through what I needed to get through, you know, trying to practice and make sure I was perfecting my craft.
So I heard you was in the Julian band. How was that?
Okay, quick story. When I was a junior in high school, we used to go to lunch, and I would be the one beating on the tables with the pens and the pencils, and the whole lunchroom would get silent. And then everybody would come to my table dancing and jumping and stuff like that and rapping. At the time, the dean, Mr. Spalding, he said, come here, I'm about to call your mom. And I thought he was going to call her and tell her I was in trouble. But he said, your daughter has such a great talent. We need her for the band. Now, my mom, she kind of was hesitant on that at first, but she saw how passionate I was about music. I mean, ever since I was born, she knew I was destined for that. But when he called, that was like the confirmation that, okay, I'll let you do it. So my experiences being in the band, they were great. I had some good times, you know, some sad times when we didn't win Battle of the Bands, but overall, it was a great time.
Only spent like 3 minutes. Do you feel like Julian is still as bouncy and like lit?
I really can't tell. I walked through the doors. I had it made me reminisce on my memories of what we used to do in the hallways. But now I really can't explain how I felt. I just knew I was happy to come in for sure. It did bring back a lot of great memories, but I really can't answer that.
Being a student and participating in an activity like the band probably took a lot of energy. Did you ever feel burnt out or strayed away from your passion?
I felt burnt out, but never strayed away. In high school, I was going through a lot of things, trying to work, take AP classes, but I felt like those were the things that motivated me to keep going because music was my outlet when I was stressed. And taking those classes and working was a lot of stress for me. Being able to pop on my headphones, listen to music, my gospel music, I love gospel, listening to my music and just being able to be uplifted through that, it helped me cultivate my passion for drums even more. So I never strayed away. I was a little burnt out, but I never strayed away from it.
Hmm. I heard you say keep going. Who was someone that kept pushing you to keep going? If so, if you have someone, can you give them a shout out?
Well, I would like to shout out Miss Jones for sure. She pushed me to keep going, especially in my academic career, because, like I said, being in her class, it was a little difficult at first, but she saw the determination I had to pass the class. So when I, stayed back and asked her a few questions of how could I better myself as a student and things, she talked with me and told me, you have a lot of potential. So you keep going, keep your head focused on your goal. You got it. So shout out to Miss Jones.
Shout out to Miss Jones. We still love her to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes leaving people who gave you comfort and supported as a Julian alumni, how has it been since leaving the high school?
Since leaving high school, I want to tell you that adulthood does come quickly, especially like for me. So after graduating high school, top 10 of my class, I had over $800,000 in scholarships. I decided to go to St. Xavier University, and then after that, I decided to pursue my master's degree. All of those things helped me and shaped me to be who I am today. I graduated 3.7 from St. Xavier, and then my recent diploma that I have, my master's degree, I graduated with a 3.9 GPA. I feel like coming here, going through the things that I went through, it helped me and shaped me to be who I am today.
Hmm. What have you been up to since leaving high school, other than being in school, I would say?
Well, that's a great question. I was gonna say being in school. Well, honestly, working part-time on bringing my music career back. So in 2019, I was on TV. I did things with Chance the Rapper and everything. But once I said, you know what, I want to put this on pause and focus on my education. Right now, since I got the things that I want, for in the real world, I'm coming back to music because that's my place of comfort. And I know that I can excel in that greatly. So what I've been doing now is I've been doing things on TikTok Live. I mean, thousands of people come on my live. I had Timberland come in my live the other day and drop gifts, Pastor Mike Jr. Everybody, like when they see me, they don't see me, but it's the God-given talent that they see. So right now, I've just been trying to perfect my craft and get out there and try to produce beats for people that I would like to work with in the future.
Mm-hmm. I heard you mention TikTok a lot. Do you feel with the recent TikTok ban, did that affect you in some type of way?
It sure did. It affected me greatly because when I was sick and wasn't working, TikTok was my source of income. I mean, like, it helped me pay for school in so many ways. So when I heard about that ban and when I logged in that Sunday and it said it was gone, I was like, hold on, what are you doing? And it was sad, but I was like, you know what? God has other things for me. So I left there and went on Bigo and started, doing my lives and stuff. So what I'm saying is there are other opportunities. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. There are always other opportunities. And for me, because I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ, he most definitely has ways to get me out and get me going. So yeah.
Glad we got it back.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked a lot about school. My podcast is usually about fashion, but fashion and music often intertwine. How do your fashion choices reflect your identity as a musician and a Black female artist?
That's a great question. My identity as a musician and a Black female artist, I want to be different and I want to be creative. When people see me, I only want them to see the God that's in me and what makes me stand out. That's what makes me stand out. I choose to be unique and stand out, so I don't really look at others. I try to be myself.
Period. That's a good answer. Are there any fashion icons in the music industry that inspire your personal style?
Hmm. I don't really have any fashion icons, but when it comes to my fashion specifically, like I said, when I do my TikTok lives and everything like that, I kind of put on uplifting merch. So something that I really put on a lot is like Christian merch that has like positive quotes and things like that, like with God I win, something that's uplifting. So like I said, I try to be original.
Mhm. Now back to your music. What advice would you give to young drummers or artists looking to develop their own unique style of playing?
I will most definitely start off with saying be true to who you are.
Mhm.
Be true to yourself. You're going to have people hate you regardless. I mean, it don't matter what you do, what you look like. Somebody's going to hate. Be true to who you are. Don't let the things get to you and kind of hinder you from achieving your goals as an artist or musician. Do what you got to do. Keep going and stay focused. For my drummers, make sure you know how to tune your instrument. Make sure you know how to mix your drums. For my artists, make sure that you're linking and connecting with people that you believe will take you further and not hinder you or try to use you and take your money or your talent.
Mhm.
So it's all about keeping your eyes open and your ears opening. Keep your ears open to
Ears
things.
open.
Yeah.
So I hear you were blessed with the drum set from Anderson .Paak. How surprised were you? And could you explain what that meant for you?
Okay, here's a backstory. In order for Anderson .Paak to bless me, he had saw me on Instagram. What I did was, remember how I said I couldn't afford a drum set?
Yeah.
I made do with what I had. So I was using a couch, a baby toy, a crutch, and a bucket. And I made that joint sound like a drum set. And I started uploading it to Instagram. Views start going up. I got millions of views. Missy Elliott seen me, all kinds of celebrities. Hey, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to do something for you. He was the only one that stuck to his word. Now, he told me, sis, when I come to Chicago, I'm going to give you backstage passes. You're going to meet the family, things like that. And he did just that. I came, he took me backstage. He set up my drums. I mean, which DW is like the top of the line drum set. Something that I was actually stacking up my money to get, but he had already got it for me. I was emotional because my whole goal of my couch drumming was to just get enough money to get my drum set. So when he pulled through and he came through, it was very emotional. I was crying. I was overjoyed. I was so happy. So that was just such a great experience. Not a lot of people, when they say they're gonna do something for you, they really come through. But he came through. Shout out to you, Pop.
I also seen a video of you being on the Windy City, I think.
Windy City Live.
How was that experience?
That was great. It was my first time being on TV. I actually did 2 segments that day. I was on Local-ish and then I was on Windy City. I think it was a great experience for me just to get myself out there. Had a great time. Indeed.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna be up there too.
Yes, you will.
What advice do you have for a female musician who wants to get started in the business?
Like I said before, whatever you want, you go, girl. Go ahead, get it done. But do your research. Please do your research. It'll be, especially if you're super talented, it'll be a lot of people trying to grab you up, managers, labels. Hey, we want you, but they don't want to pay you what you're worth. Know your worth. Too many times we get lowballed, and that's in the community, the African-American community. We get lowballed. We don't know our worth. So when you go into things, know your worth, be firm, but also stand your ground and just know that when it's your time, it'll come.
I also think females who want to get into the industry need to hear advice like that. Thank you, Trinity, for your advice, and thank you for being on my show. I hope you had a good time today. That was your Wearable Conversation podcast. See you guys next time.